Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using the July Scraptastic kit. This is the 22nd layout using this kit and it took me almost 2 hours to complete. It took 1 hour and 52 minutes. And these are the scraps that I'm going to be working with, and that's what I'm down to. And when I'm down to a bunch of scraps like that, there's a few things that I like to do. I like to do either strips of pattern paper, a block form or a grid form, or I don't know if you would call this paper piecing, block form, grid form, but I just kind of piece all the pattern papers together and all around one photo or a couple photos. And this time around there was quite a bit of 3x4 cards left, so I decided to incorporate some of the 3x4 cards, and that was really fun. I really like that. So I end up using two 3x4 cards, a frame, and then a smaller frame within that Polaroid frame with the heart. And then there was a die cut, and I'm going to use that on the bottom of the layout over top a pattern paper. So ended up using a lot of different pieces of scraps and everything. Now in the last video I said that I was going to try and do another layout using this kit, and when I went to check to see how much I had left, I literally had two different kinds of pattern papers, like two different pattern papers, and one of them was 3 little strips of maybe 1x5, 1x3, and 1x1 or something, like really small. And then the other one was maybe 3x12. And then I had the pattern paper that was the flower, and it was all like cutouts, because that one I used it as cutouts. And so there was really nothing left to use as, to make a layout. There was a bit of die cuts, but apart from that, I think I killed that kit pretty good. So I did my killer kit yesterday, and I started out with the June kit. So that one is done, and it feels good. It's just like another one done. And okay, I stopped the recording because I had a little coughing fit. I don't know, whatever I got in September is holding on, and it's just and this, of course, is as soon as I start talking a lot, I start coughing. So so when I do my voiceovers, I always have little coughing fits. So anyway, I was saying that I finally finished that July kit, and just before I did the Killer Kit video, I thought, I have a problem. I can't put a kit away unless it's like got nothing left, and I can't move on to the next. Like I can't do a few from here, and then if a new kit comes in, do a few layouts from that one, because I know if I start the next kit, that first kit will never get touched again. And so anyway, I was just kind of giggling at myself, because it was like, is there like a group for that? So I just want to know, like, how many layouts, if you're part of a kit club, how many layouts do you feel is enough and you're good to move on to another kit? Like I feel like, because most of the time I get all 4 kits, so I end up with like an extra pattern paper, so I end up with 25 pattern papers, give or take 1 or 2, and I feel like I have to get the same amount of layouts from it. So if I get 22 pattern papers, I got to get 22 layouts. If I get 27 pattern papers, I feel like I need to get 27 layouts. So I was just wondering what everybody else, what do they feel like they need to get out of a layout? So that was just a burning question that I have, to see if if I'm the only one that feels that you need to basically kill the kit before you can move on to the next. So I have to say these types of layouts do take a long time. Like even though I'm down to scraps, there is a lot of measuring, a lot of figuring out, and then I do like to ink all the edges. And what I do is the first go over, I guess, I do it very loosely. If you saw, I just took a pencil and I would just kind of, you know, about here, about there, and kind of cut it. And I try to cut it a little bit bigger than what I need. And then when I start cutting down, like gluing down, sorry, when I start gluing down, that's when I start, okay, it really needs to fit with this and this length. And then I cut it down because I find when you have them loosely, they always move around. So I'm afraid to cut it perfect the first time. And then when I go to glue it down, they're just shy short. I mean, once you've cut it, you can't put it back on, but you can always cut away, right? So that's why I always cut it just a little bit bigger. And then once I'm ready to, glue it down, then I cut it more precise. So these pictures are, when I got my Canon selfie, actually this one, I think I printed off when I did the video, the product review of the Canon selfie. And I said, oh, let's try 6 photos. So that's the picture I printed then. And I just did 6 pictures of our dog, and he was 5 months old, and he's going to be a beast. He is so much bigger than he is in this picture right now. Oh, he's going to be, we were told a medium-sized dog. He's already taller than our golden retriever. But anyway, so I just wanted to do a layout of when he was 5 months old. And again, that Tiddly Inks stamp, I want to use it again. And I'm going to do some Copic coloring. And I think this time I did it on camera. I don't remember because this layout was done way out in August and today's September 30th. So I don't remember if the Copic coloring is on the video or not. So again, I took the brown ink that is a Prima ink, and Scraptastic sends you a free gift if you purchase 2 kits in a row. And usually it's little Prima inks. It varies from month to month, but the last few months it's been Prima inks, and I don't mind. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond, and this is what I was looking for at Bed Bath & Beyond. So if you guys know of where I could get a container for these, if you could leave a comment and let me know. I just wish we had a container store, because I'm sure at the container store it would be there. I went to Michael's and I bought these little Recollections containers, and there's 9 little holes in them, and they're 4 inches by I think 7.5 inches deep. So talk about perfect for project life cards. So now I'm looking for little containers that, of course, are a little bigger than 3 inches wide. So 3.5, about 7 inches deep, so that I can put my 3x4 cards in there and just fit them in perfectly. And then I'll figure something else out for my 4x6 cards. But I thought if I could have 9 little containers and then put a sample of all the project life cards I have in those, that would be perfect, Then I could just have that really close to my desk, because I do like to scrap with 3x4 or 4x6 cards on my regular scrapbook. And now I have to open each container that I have, like main kit or whatever, and go through the cards. So if I could have them all separated, so if anybody knows of the little containers, I guess everything that I find is just a little too, they say 3 inches, but it needs to be a little bit bigger than 3. And I've gone just about everywhere. I don't know where else to look. I might have to wait till we go to the States again next summer, and this time I will go to a container store. We were so close to one this last summer and we didn't go, and I wish we would have gone. But at that point I didn't know I wanted those 3x4 you know, those little containers anyway, so I don't think it would have made any difference anyway. So back to the layout. I added some foam tape on that heart, and the foam tape is from 3M, and it comes in a huge roll, and I just popped that out. And then there was a little strip that was left about that 3x4 card, and I didn't want to fuss with cutting a strip. So what I did was I took 2 stamps from the Tiddly Inks, and it has a little heart and a little bone, and I took 2 of my favorite inks out, the brown from Heidi Swap and the pink from Hero Arts. I think it's called Pale Tomato. No, I don't think. I know it's called Pale Tomato. And I just inked a heart and a bone, a heart and a bone. And then, you know, just to kind of do a little border right there. And now what I'm doing is I'm going through my stickers. I cut out a few of those sunburst. And another thing with these types of layouts is then each little rectangle or square or block is almost like a little page of its own. You know what I mean? Now I'm going to dedicate the little one at the bottom. That's in pink. That's the only one that's pretty solid. So I'm going to do a bit of journaling there. And then what I try to do is, if I don't do some layering on each card, what I try to do is when I layer the sticker, I just make sure that I touch the block next to it. And then that way it's kind of connected with the rest. So you'll see that, like that status update, I made sure that it touched the teal sticker or the teal piece of pattern paper, and then the green pattern paper with the die cut over top. And I'm going to do that throughout. Whenever I don't want to embellish each and every little square, I just make sure that it touches both. So there's a sticker that says hello, and that's pretty much what he does. He is very hyper. I mean, we had a golden retriever for 13 years, and in the first 6 months, yeah, he was a little hyper, but not this hyper. This dog here, he's just like, hello, hello, do you want to play? Do you want to play? Do you want to come? I want to be with you. And then he just like squeezes himself on you. Like, and we even had like people that this summer when we took him on vacation, they were like, he is a friendly dog. Like he even new people that he met, he'd go to them like kind of shyish, you know, because he didn't know if he's very good about that though. If he thinks he doesn't know if people are going to be afraid of him, he kind of approaches them very slowly. But then when he notices, oh, you love me, he goes and he just kind of rubs himself on them and just like, oh yes, give me some lovin', you know. He's just really friendly dog. And I have to say, we still have to get him fixed, so I'm sure that'll help with a lot of the hyperness too. So I'm sure that's going to help. So I just took one of the frames that is on the layout or on the sticker sheet, and I'm going to cut it in how many pieces? I only see 2 here. Might be 2 or 3 pieces. And what I do is I just spread them around. So with one little sticker, you're able to, you know, do a lot of spreading it around and making it so that it's on more than one place on the layout. And the yellow stickers that were in the kit, I've just about killed them. There's no more. I can barely make any words with them. So I took out my October afternoon letters in yellow, and I put 5 months on the top right corner, and then I'm going to put his name Ace, and that I did use the alphas that came in the kit. And then I had used a little bracket and I put on top of the photo, so I put 2014, and then I put Love My Puppy on another one, and on the card right there I put So Cute. And what else did I write? And then with the blue letters that came on the sticker sheet, I'm going to write, I already did, I put my dog, and then there was a little geotag, and I stuck that to the bottom left of the layout. And let me see what else. Some other stickers like arrows, and one that says Summer Memories. So I'm just trying to find as many things as possible that could go on this layout. And then another one is You're My Favorite, and another banner that says Life is Beautiful. And it's funny because, well, not funny, haha, but anyway, I don't think that was the correct choice of word, but when our Jake died, like our golden retriever, my son was devastated. And, he was like, I don't think I could ever love another dog as much, and all this stuff. But then he knew that, the way to kind of fix his broken heart was, to get another puppy. And what he said was, I didn't realize what I had until he was gone. Because for him, the dog was with him since he was 2.5. So he didn't remember life without his dog. So I think he realized that he was kind of taking him for what he felt for granted. So this new dog, I'm not joking. If my son is home, the dog is with him. And he spends all his time with him and teaches him all kind of stuff. And just a couple weeks ago, he said, Mom, you know how much I love Jake. He says, but Ace, I just love him so much. And I think it's because I remember him from, you know what I mean? Like he was, he is 14 when he got him. So every single moment, he says, I can see being so much more attached to him because he trained him from the beginning. Like Jake, I trained him. I was home at the time, and I'm the one that took the dog out every 20 minutes or every half hour and made sure that he was trained. My son did that. My son trained the puppy. He, all his tricks, and gives him a bath. If he makes messes, he's the one that has to clean them up. He feeds them. Everything that has to do with the dog. And that was the deal. Mom does the vacuuming, and I find that that's enough, So that was the deal when we got the puppy. He has to do everything. But because of that, he is super attached to the dog. So here we go. That the whole part with the block is done. So now I'm going to start the Copic coloring. Now, if you've been following me for a while, like I've said time and time again, I have, a bunch of Copic markers, and basically the only thing that I used with my Copics was to change the color of embellishments. So I take bling and I change the color. I change the color of alphas and, things like that. I just changed the color of the embellishments. So I am not a master of Copic coloring whatsoever. But I thought I'd have some fun and color in a few dogs. So I took my Memento ink in black. I tried brown, and I just found, because I want to color in brown, it was just too much the same. So I did take my Memento ink, and you do have to take an ink that won't bleed. So it's got to be permanent and instant. Like, it can't be something that's going to stay wet a long time if you want to start coloring right away. Now, there's a few different ways that I've seen, and there's all kinds of tutorials out there using Copic markers. So if you just on YouTube Google Copics, there's all kinds. And I remember, this is years ago, I'm thinking like 6 or 7 years ago, I used to follow a few girls, and if you've been following me for a while, you know that I don't do cards, but I used to follow these girls, and only because they talked a lot about Copic coloring, and I would spend hours and hours, and that's when I first got my Copic markers. I think I've had them now for probably 6 or 7 years, and some of them start, or a lot of, I think if you take classes, they say to start with the lightest color and move on to the darker. And once you lay the darker color, you take your first marker and blend in that second color, and then so on and so forth. So you see me always going back to that first color. Now, other people start with the darker color first and move on to the lightest color. And both ways, it turns out really well. And I think it's something that I want to start doing a little bit more, and that's part of the reason I got the Prima Dolls stamps, because I wanted to do a little bit more coloring. Although the Prima Dolls, I don't know if you've that too, you can Google on YouTube or search on YouTube Prima Dolls, and oh my goodness, they're gorgeous. And what people do is stamp them on pattern paper, and then paper piece them, and then just color in their faces. Gorgeous. And Edith had asked me, as I'm talking about this, I had commented on her video, and she said that she saw my haul with the Prima Dolls, and if I planned on using the Prima Dolls on scrapbook layouts. And of course, I saw her comment when I was at work, and if I can't answer them right away, I forget. Once I'm home, I just forget. So I'll answer her right now. Yes, I do plan on using them on my layouts. I plan on, just paper piecing them and then putting them on my layouts, or putting them on tags and putting them on my layouts. So I can't wait to play with those. And so, as you can tell, I do have a little piece of scrap paper beside me, and I practice on the side there. And like I said, not a master of Copic coloring whatsoever, but they're just so cute, those little puppies. So one of them has a little heart with the arrow through it, and then the other one's just like a little puppy kind of sitting and behaving, which he does sometimes. And then the other one is, he does that a lot. The one on the he looks like he's crouched and he just wants to pounce you. He does that a lot. And so I colored 3 of them, and now I'm going to detail cut around all 3 of them, and I'm going to put them around the layout. And I'm trying to incorporate my stamps a little bit more into my scrapbooking, and I'm going to try and I go back to work tomorrow, and but I'm going to try and I haven't done a what's in my scrap room video in a bit, so I guess you'll probably see that before you see this video. But anyway, today's September 30th, and I'm going to try and film it and upload it today, because I did organize my stamps quite a bit. I still have quite a lot to do, but I've done enough that I can show you what it looks like, and then that way you can kind of see how that looks. Now I took my Prima ink, and I'm just gonna ink the edges of outside all the dogs there. And because when it's colored on white paper, so when you cut it out, even though you cut it right on just beside the line, because it's white paper, you still see a white edge. So by inking the edges, it kind of finishes it off for you. And, you know, that's probably part of the reason why this layout was kind of long to do, because those blocky layouts do take longer because you have to measure it. Then I detail cut around some of those circles, which I don't know if I did that on this video or if I did it on another video. I can't remember. But then I stamped those little puppies, and then I colored them in. And see, I had colored 2 at this point, and then I thought, well, I think it'd be cute if I had a third one, and that's the one that he looks like he's kind of ready to pounce there. And so I'm just going to quickly color that in, and then I'm going to cut it out. So basically, what they say that you should do for Copics is choose 3 tones in the same family. So these here, they're all E something. So, and you should have at least 2 to 3 numbers in between. So let's say if you start, and I can't remember what numbers I use, but if you take 13, then you would jump to 15 and then 17, or 13, you know, jump a few numbers ahead so that you get that shading effect. And like I said, just on YouTube, just search for Copic coloring, and oh my goodness, there's all kinds of videos out there, tutorials that show how to use it. There's even classes. Okay, so my alarm clock was going off, and I figured you didn't need to hear that. So yeah, there's online classes for Copic coloring, but there's enough YouTube videos. I think, you know, unless you want to do it professionally, I find just having fun with the Copics is good enough, you know. But anyway, that just about wraps up the layout. I'm just going to add a couple more little things just to kind of ground the elements. And if you want to see more close-up pictures, you can join me on my blog, and the link is in the description. And if you don't know, I have a Facebook group that is just Scrappy, and there's a ton of women that share their pages and their YouTube videos, and the link for that is also in the description. And I also upload to a cherry on top, the Scraptastic blog and Facebook group, and I just started uploading to the paper clipping forum, and where else? And I think that's it. So if you enjoyed the video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up to let YouTube know that you enjoyed the video. So the page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.